Hi guys! Welcome back to another perfume video. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Jane and welcome to my fragrance channel. If you love this type of content, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell icon to turn on notification so you are up to date on new videos posted in the channel. Thumbs up this video so I know you like my content and appreciate it a lot if you leave me a comment in this video. It does a world of wonders for the channel. Today's video is all about fragrancedubois, known to some as the House of Oud, as Oud is in the forefront of some of this house's best creations. I have 17 of their classic fragrances. 2 have probably been discontinued, and I have the new release discovery set on the way, so this video is practically part 1. In the beginning of my fragrance journey, I've heard so much about a handful of fragrances from this house. Demi Rawling used to rave about Santal Complet, Oud Jaune Intense, and now her very own fragrance collaboration with the brand Minuit et Demi. I will talk about Minuit et Demi in part 2. Paulina Char rave about Siberian Rose and Oud Orange Intense. Judah Rose rave about Oud Vert Intense and Milano. Curly Fragrance rave about Minuit et Demi, New York Intense, and Oud Blue Intense, and so on. I believe all these rave reviews to be true, but the biggest hurdle is the price point on fragrancedubois bottles. One 100 ml bottle is pure luxury and is easily 200 to 600 British pounds. A small 2 ml decant of Minuit et Demi, for example, costs about 1,000 pesos locally. Wow! The price per bottle is indeed prohibitive, and that is not an understatement. And so today, let me walk you through 17 samples I have on hand, and let's together determine which are full bottle worthy and which are not. Maybe even determine if fragrancedubois as a brand is something that you and I would like to invest in. Buying a bottle is definitely not easy price-wise, plus this brand is not readily accessible to us here in the Philippines, and I assume anywhere outside of the UK, Europe, US, and the UAE. These samples I bought straight from the fragrancedubois website, shipped to the Philippines via shipping cart. Details in the description box below. This video is going to be longer than my usual shorter videos, so please grab a snack, grab a drink, sit somewhere comfy as we dive into 17 fragrancedubois fragrances. Some I have a lot to say about, some I don't. I have grouped them into collections for easy reference. I will leave timestamps so you can easily slide into the parts that interest you the most. So if you're interested to hear my opinion on these fragrances, then please continue to watch. Let me start with the most hype-up fragrance from the brand, Santal Complet. Created in 2016, this is how I came to know about fragrancedubois. At the time I was getting into fragrances, I kept hearing and seeing rave reviews about this fragrance and got me all interested. Took me a while to get an actual sample. I kept imagining this to smell 100 times better than CK Into You for Her, which I own. So after all the anticipation of smelling this for the first time, I was not blown away by this fragrance. Don't get me wrong, this is lovely, but for all the hype this got, this simply did not blow my mind. This is a creamy sandalwood fragrance with tropical undertones of warm coconutty goodness that's deliciously sweet but not overdone. This has been compared to so many different perfumes: Maison Margiela's Just Club, Serge Lutens' Santal Majuscule, PDK's Gris Charnel, name your dupe. But to me, this fell short of my expectations because indeed, this smells nothing like 245 pounds. This smells like CK Into You for Her plus some creamy finesse thrown in. One of the best scents in the line, bestseller for a good reason. I will cherish my sample, but I don't think this is well worth my money. If for some reason they drop the price by a lot, then I can justify getting a bottle. Definitely for cooler weather and season, this lasts longer when layered with Sol de Janeiro's Boom Boom Cream. Credits to Giselle from GB Fragrances for this combo. Siberian Rose. The very first time I smelled this fragrance, I was quite confused. I was highly anticipating a deep rose perfume. I had to check the card and the spray bottle again to see if perhaps I sprayed the wrong perfume, because what I got was a spicy green white floral perfume with woody undertones, lightly sweet but not syrupy, joined a little while later by a rich leather accord, which to be honest is sort of magnified on my skin and bothers me a lot. Later on, after some research, I learned that that the inspiration for this perfume is in fact Siberia. Well, the name says it all. Where white Siberian rose is found and it smells rather lemony, fruity instead of the usual petally rose. Siberia conjures an image of eternal snow, so this is a fragrance for the really cold. This would be lovely for the colder season. I wish I can try this out sometime in appropriate environment. For tropical climate, this is very unsuitable in my honest opinion. Launched in 2020, Siberian Rose was created by Shadi Sahraa and retails for £229 for the 100 ml bottle. Next up is Brume du Matin. I think translates to morning mist, and aptly so. This is wonderfully bright and sparkly, a welcome freshness after all the woody fragrances I have been testing out from this brand. This launched in 2016, no perfumer was listed. This is a fresh, sparkling fruity rose peony combination fragrance with a bright citrusy opening. This is the fragrance to spray if you want to start the day right. This is for the warm weather, spring, summer season, easy to wear and pull off. I fell in love with this fragrance because this scent profile is super nostalgic of my special day. My wedding day fragrance was Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, and while this pulled heavier floral overall, this instantly transported me to that day. I guess Brume du Matin is similar to Blooming Bouquet that way. Will I buy a bottle? For £245, I personally think this is overpriced, but you know that you're buying luxury, like buying an Hermes or a Chanel handbag that carry the same stuff you put in a $100 handbag. But aside from quality, you buy the status that the brand brings and the overall allure of luxury. So this is very much full bottle worthy if you have cash to spare. I'd gladly accept this as a gift if given a chance, because why not? Cannabis Bleu. I have not been a big fan of the cannabis note in perfumes. Flora Botanica is one perfume I absolutely cannot wear. I know a lot of people who love Flora Botanica. But Cannabis Bleu, I like on my skin, although I will not wear this myself, and I like it even better on my husband's skin. This on him smells better the longer it stays, and even the deep dry down when some of the top notes have been muted, this still smells top notch. This reminds me a lot of Byredo's Open Sky. I have a review of Open Sky and I will leave the link down below. Despite the name Cannabis Bleu, this perfume isn't just about cannabis. You would not reek of weed, so to speak. This is not a dry, smoky, skanky weed smell, but you'd carry this fresh, aromatic, spicy, herbally scent around, and it's really pleasant, even compliment getting. Cannabis Bleu pays homage to the classic fougere, the so-called barbershop fragrance, with a pleasant cannabis nuance and woodiness that intensifies as this dries down. There's oud, but just a hint, and it's barely there in my honest opinion. Definitely a masculine-leaning fragrance, and I think will do great for warm weather or season. A 100 ml bottle sells for £249. If you do not like to spend this much, I urge you to try Open Sky from Byredo. If you're looking for a luxe perfume gift for your man, this is the one. Patchouli Argent reminds me a lot of Eau Capitale from Diptyque. This is a spicy rose patchouli, but with a lot less rose and of course more patchouli, but a kind of patchouli that does not put you off so much. I actually like this perfume. It's a fresh rose in here, not too dark or gothic as in, say, Portrait of a Lady. As I've said, this is more reminiscent of Eau Capitale to me. For £265 for 100 ml bottle, I say go for Eau Capitale or something similar. I'd be happy to be gifted this perfume, but I won't spend my own money on a bottle. Next up are the fragrances from the Shades du Bois collection. Oud Rouge Intense is a 2013 creation by perfumer Guillaume Flavini and is an intensely woody fragrance. This feels to me like agar wood and nothing else. No sweetness, no florals, no fruitiness, no musk, at least to my nose. Just pure, earthy oud, deep, woody, dirty, masculine oud. This is still part of the discovery set, but I did not see any full bottle on sale in the website anymore. I'm not sure if this has been discontinued or has been a boutique exclusive nowadays. If you love oud, this is something you might like. This is some pink pepper in and some other notes listed, but really what I get is oud. This will probably do well as a layering base if you're not keen on pure oud smells. In stark contrast to Oud Rouge Intense is Oud Vert Intense. This is a fresh, spicy, soapy, masculine perfume with a pleasant, woody undertone. This is great for everyday to semi-formal type events during warm weather or season, but great to wear year-round. In the opening, this leans very soapy, clean, and aromatic and green, and then this becomes woodier as this dries down. I would love to smell this on a man. This smells very clean with a just showered vibe and feel. Another safe gift for the special man in your life. My ultimate issue is once again the price. The 100 ml bottle costs a whopping £495. This sure is a wealthy man's cologne or an FDB's collector's cologne. Someone who doesn't mind spending a lot for a bottle. But if you're a lover of aromatic, fresh, green, soapy, clean, manly scents with some woody undertone, this is one to check out from the brand.
And every time I smell it, it brings me back to Bali, and don't you guys, like, I'm almost like emotional thinking about it, like, whoa. Wow, I need a minute.
Oud Jaune Intense is well worth the hype. Whatever Demi Rollins said in her videos about this is so true, at least from my point of view. But I urge you to sample this nonetheless. Get a man to fall in love with you while on tropical vacation with this scent. I think she did just that. This scent is rich, deep, and seductive with creamy yellow and white florals done right with a deliciously tempting fruity note of pineapple and a powdery sweetness that is not overdone. There is oud in here, but I hardly get it even in the deep dry down. This smells like an exotic goddess, like a perfectly beautiful woman on the beach that you'd offer your whole life to. This fragrance blew my mind, and if I have all the money in the world, I'ma buy myself a dozen bottles of this to keep forever for 495 quid for the 100 ml bottle. I don't think it's truly worth it, but I still do want a bottle. If you're planning the next luxurious beach tropical vacation, this is the perfect scent to bring. I wore a few spritz because I only have 2 precious mLs of this, so I wore a few spritz of this the entire day by the beach last June, and oh my goodness, catching wafts of this in the air is pure bliss. And what a head turner this is. The sillage is great even with 3 to 4 little sprays. I can imagine this to have an enormous sillage when oversprayed. Plus those 3 to 4 little sprays lasted me at least 6 to 7 hours on skin, a few days on fabric. Oud Rose Intense is an ode to the color pink, created by Hamid Merati Kashani in 2013. This is a fresh, spicy rose fragrance, unisex smelling, leans a little masculine to my nose. In fact, this is more masculine smelling than say MFK's Low Mara Rose, but this one is unisex nonetheless. This is a fresh, slightly fruity rose with woody undertones. Compared to other FDB fragrances I have sampled, this is rather flat and uninteresting, doesn't smell so much like a top-notch niche perfume. For £495, I think you can find something similar in the designer realm. Oud Orange Intense. This is one fragrance in the line that I heard so many people talked about as well. This was pretty hyped up, the dominant notes being sweetened candied fruits, vanilla, and coconut. This was created by Caroline Sabas in 2013. Not gonna lie, the very first time I put my nose into this, I was reminded instantly of an oody woody version of Dolce Garden. Dolce Garden plus oud is definitely this one. That fruity coconut warm tropical feel is similar in the two. I prefer the non-oody version though. I think the oud weighs this fragrance down, makes this less happy, less fruity, and more unisex masculine. I think a man can definitely wear this, while Dolce Garden is definitely brighter, fruitier, more coconutty, and very feminine, and much more my personality. This is lovely, but for 549 quid, this is a hard pass. I will stick to my Dolce Garden. Created by Francois Merle Baudouin in 2013, Oud Noir Intense opens very silky smooth like the texture of satin or silk. Oud is front and center with a sprinkling of something bright and floral in the background. The other notes are muted and you appreciate the oud in all its silky, well-rounded, refined glory. If I were to pick an oud-centric perfume, this is it. Luxurious, opulent, smells like old money to me. Most importantly, very wearable. And yes, this is pricey at £495 for 100 ml bottle. This is much less hyped, but I think this is much more worth the moolah. They say this smells like oud wood. Well, I like oud wood, but I like this 10 times more. If you love oud, this is one to check out from Fragrancedubois. From the Fashion Capitals collection, I have 2. London Oud, I imagine to smell like royalty. Once again, created by François Merle Boudoin. This launched in 2015 and smells to me like a refined gentleman's everyday's after shower cologne. Fresh, zesty, spicy green, super well-rounded, and luxe. When the man sprays this one, he instantly becomes 10 times more handsome. This is that kind of fragrance. The oud here is very tame, more of an undertone. One of the better ones from the brand. Too bad I think this has been discontinued to be replaced by London Spice, which I will be reviewing in the next FDB video. New York Intense, a punchy, forceful, spicy oud perfumes, masculine leaning, created by Pierre Constantin Guerros in 2020. It's just as expected a perfume called New York Intense would smell like. With the signature smooth, well-blended, easy on the nose FDB oud, this is for you guys who love an oud-centric, base-heavy perfume. Definitely for the cold season, cold weather, I can imagine this to be a winter staple for lovers of this genre. Definitely not for me. Price is a little forgiving for 225 British pounds per 100 ml bottle. The last set of fragrances belong to the PRIVE collection, the ones in opulent-looking gold bottles, easily the priciest collection in the lot. Amber Intense. To be honest, I am not sure why this is called Amber Intense. Should have been Oud Intense. On my skin, all I smell is dirty, fecal oud that's really strong, and some fragrances tend to get better as the top notes are gone, but this tastes the same throughout. No top notes or middle notes come through to my nose. This is base heavy to me, and my skin simply does not love this perfume. Someone in Fragrantica said this smells like spit. Actually, there were mixed reviews, but constantly people would get unpleasant olfactive experiences from this one. So I guess I'm not alone. On my husband though, this is very oudy but a pleasant deep oud scent. Definitely try on skin first. For 595 pounds, this is a hard pass for me. Parisian, created by perfumer Christian Provenzano in 2016. This is very aptly named Parisian. If I live in four-season climate, I'ma pick this as a cooler weather, colder season staple. Perhaps too thin for the dead of winter, but for spring and early autumn, this is magnificently perfect. This opens bright with grapefruit. I love grapefruit in perfumes, with a touch of sweetness, a little sprinkling of spice, and then the warmer, deeper base notes come through as the rose unfolds. A perfect balance of fresh and bright to warm and cozy. I think I would bring this along to Baguio City, coolest vacation city here in the Philippines, the next time I visit. This is very unisex to my nose. I don't see this leaning one or the other. I would definitely wear this myself. This is well blended, smells opulent, wearable, and not too oud-centric for a rose oud combination perfume. 595 quid for 100 ml is a lot of money. Buy only if willing to spend that much. Quality is no question. Finally, a powdery scent from among all this. Heritage is a fresh baby powder smell. Back when talcum powder was a thing, you'd smell this a lot from classmates and friends in school, from people you meet in church and everywhere. That clean, powdery, floral, soapy, fresh kind of smell. Like tender care baby powder of the 80s to 90s, this is it in an opulent gold bottle. Some soaps from my childhood would smell like this too. I don't think they make those anymore, but if you like to feel nostalgic, smell a little retro 80s, get this one. Aptly named Heritage, this was created by François Merle Boudoin. This is indeed sandalwood heavy, more powdery than creamy, complemented by some sweet, cozy vanilla, a floral, girly undertone running throughout the life of this fragrance. This is a powdery fragrance I enjoyed so much. But I think this is very overpriced for a baby powder scent that cost 595 pounds. Maybe half the price goes to the gold-looking bottle. Lastly, and at 695 pounds, is the most expensive one in this collection, Sahraa. This smells very Middle Eastern to my nose, and as the brand rightly written it down, this was crafted for the sophisticated palates of Middle Eastern connoisseurs. No perfumer was listed for this one. This perfume genre will never be an instant like or love for a lot of us, or at least me, as this is born out of preference because we grew up smelling this everywhere. Like generally how we Filipinos love garlic in everything, like how Brits love tea over coffee, how Mexicans love the spiciest jalapenos, how Japanese love sushi. I think it is the same with scents. Our noses are attuned to smells we grew up smelling a lot, and therefore affects our scent preferences greatly. This is a little bit hard to understand as outsiders to the culture unless you're a fragrance aficionado and this has been your taste all along. So I will not venture on making sense out of this fragrance because clearly this was never meant for me and my taste. I respect though the craftsmanship and the genius involved in the creation of this perfume. all 17 fragrances done. My final thoughts? I am fortunate to have sampled this lot. One or two blew my mind, but admittedly, the price range is up there. You buy because you have lots of money to spare or you are fully committed to a bottle. The prices are at par with fragrance quality except for maybe one or two. This house does oud really well and the craftsmanship is top-notch. I would want to own a bottle or two someday, but most of the bottles in this collection are well above my pay grade, so I have to hold on to my precious little samples and enjoy them while they last. Watch out for my part 2 Fragrance du Bois sampling spree. That will include the newer releases like Minuet Demi, Cavort, Triste, London Spice, and so on. Thank you guys for making it this far. Stay safe, smell your absolute best, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!